All right, let's go. Day number 30. So we're almost ending January 2025. 30 days, 29 to be more precise, of spending money on ads. Also, today you will see that there was some spend in the ad account, but basically running ads for my marketing agency, trying to get as much visibility as possible. And the main concept that I want us to focus on in this video is basically that of spending more to make more, which does make sense, but at the same time, we do need to look at the details because the devil is in the details. So what do I mean by that? Well, think of it like this. If you give someone $1 million and they give you $1 million back, you can actually say that you gave someone $1 million, and you can also say that someone gave you $1 million, right? But at the end of the day, it's a net zero in terms of results, right? So this is how it actually works in marketing to some extent as well in business, meaning that, yeah, you can make more money if you spend more money in different ways. Meaning that basically you can acquire a customer. And the easiest way to think about this is if Coke paid you $5 to actually buy their $4 Coke, would you do it? Most likely yes, because you would actually make a profit, but they would lose, right? So this is where we can enter this realm of value creation, because in most cases we pay for something that we find valuable. And if you pay, let's say for this phone, right? So I paid for it around $1,000, right? Now that's a big amount of money, I would say, for a phone. Probably even myself, I don't need it, but at the same time, I do spend 5 to 6 hours minimum on my phone daily. So if you actually do the math there, right? In a week, I spend around 25 hours at least minimum. I mean, just from Monday to Friday, guaranteed 25 hours. And if you divide $1,000 by 25, you get around $40 an hour, right? And then the longer you go with this math, you see that basically you pay less than $1 a day. You pay less than 50 cents a day eventually. You pay less than 10 cents maybe a day for having it, right? So this is where you can see the value. Does this phone bring you 10 cents in value daily if you divide it by the number of days? Well, if we do the math, it most likely will. So this is also the difference between something being costly and something being expensive. Because if something is costly, it means it costs more, but still it brings you the value. However, if you think of something as being expensive, it's expensive because you don't feel the value coming from it. Because you wouldn't say that a phone is expensive when you know just how much money you would make from it, right? You would rather say that it's costly, even though we use either of those words interchangeably. And I mean, that's why words are so important. We don't always use the right ones. And coming back to the subject, right, of spending more to make more. Well, this applies in marketing, of course, because if you spend more on ads, if you spend more on cold email, if you spend more on gifts, just to get someone's attention, right, and so on, like, of course, you will get an outcome eventually, right? But the thing is, how can you spend, in most cases, at least, the least amount of money to get the highest upside? Of course, this is what we'd all want. But then over time, the more you scale, let's say anything, a business or a relationship or anything, you do start to get diminishing returns, right? And that's because you also set the standard, the benchmark for yourself, and then you basically have to push. So if you made $1,000 when you just started out in your career, right? Maybe that seemed like a lot of money because you started from zero. But then you might have went to 2K, 3K, 4K. And basically from 1K to 4K, it's a 300% increase, right? And sometimes when you are at that 4K, you can really appreciate it as much, right, as you appreciated that 1K. And then, yeah, you just grow, right? So this is the hedonic adaptation, although we're starting to get into too many subjects at the same time here, considering that what we're mainly talking about is paid ads. But the thing is, if we come back to this subject of paid ads, it's the same, right? Meaning that right now, for example, I'm spending daily anywhere between $30 to $60 on ads. So that comes to around maybe 1.5K a month on ads, right? Which can seem expensive if there's no benefit to it, right? If there's no leads, if there's no clients, if there's no YouTube videos, you know. So this is also a plus. I can document something, and because I document it, also I remember it better. Second, you can also watch it and get some value out of it. Third, both me and you gain this knowledge because we go over the numbers here and try to see what are the differences here and there. And we could mention many other things that come as a benefit because of this ad spend, right? And at the same time, we still need to look at the numbers, meaning that we still need to make profit, right? So that is why the longer you can see into the future, like almost every amount that you spend on marketing on or on yourself, usually it rarely goes to waste, because you either learn from something, basically failing, or you actually win right away, right? So that's one of the reasons why investing in yourself usually always helps, because you also create that abundance mindset. I mean, I could have made this video about the abundance mindset, right? Which is something that you can go through, but also like go out of it really quick if maybe you compare yourself to other people and so on, right? So that's why it's usually ideal to maybe look at what other people are doing, but still then making sure that our life is exactly as we want, right? Because like for me, if I make 10 times more, it won't be like I will be 10 times happier, right? And probably same for you. Like sometimes even if you make 10 or 20% more, that's probably enough to like maybe even buy a new house, because you just need to pay that not necessarily down payment, but that monthly fee, recurring revenue. What's the name? We are too much into the marketing world, I guess, so we're starting to use these terms which usually apply to businesses. But with all of that being said, let's look at the ad account here, just to show you what's happening. And actually in a few minutes here, so 17 minutes, I have a call with someone who will help me actually set AI agent, a WhatsApp one, so that when someone actually is interested in seeing more about what I do or my services and so on, they will actually get redirected right away to WhatsApp, and there they will get some automated messages, because we ideally don't check our phone 24/7 and aren't in that mindset that I have to reply right away, otherwise I might be losing something, right? That's actually a scarcity mindset, so better not to have it. So with all of that being said, let's switch the camera and look at the ad account. All right, so now that we're back, let's look at the ad account. Let me show you the results from yesterday. So spent $28, 29 CPM. So things are getting a little bit more stable here with the CPMs. They start to get lower. Frequency around the 1.2. So basically this is more scalable for sure. I think I might need to retarget here, because sometimes you need to see an ad at least 2 times to be convinced, and some people definitely see it 2 times. And as you can see, 0 leads yesterday, so nothing much for now. Like I didn't really change that much. I'm busy with some calls, clients, so didn't get a chance to. But as you can see, actually today we do have a lead from Canada, so I will have to check my Instagram and see who this lead is, their phone number, email, yeah, basically stalking them, I guess, but more importantly seeing their Instagram and trying to get in touch through there. So basically this is one of the ads that I'm still running. It's doing fine in terms of getting leads, but I think it's time to actually get into video ads, and I might film one either today or tomorrow. So no guarantees, but definitely trying to make progress here. So not much for now. So let's switch the camera back on. All right, so now that we're back to basically end this video with a few short words here. As you can see, not much really happening in the ad account, but as I mentioned, I am getting some leads that I'm actually connecting with on Instagram. However, they are not as qualified, right? And this is the thing with high ticket. And when you're spending a lower amount, right? Because you can see I spend like $30 a day and so on. Like that's not a huge amount when it comes to actually finding the people who would be spending with you $3K right away just in the first month. Not to mention that the lifetime value could be probably 18K at least, right? Because if they stay with you 6 months and they pay you 5K, 3K, right? That's the math, 18K. Or if it's like a retainer of 5K over a 6-month period, it's like 30K, right? So this is where you actually need to do the math and realize that sometimes you need to spend more to make more, just like going to events, starting into maybe online communities and so on, right? Because you do need to go through phases, meaning that you won't have money for a 50K mastermind right away, right? Or a 10K or a 5K or a 1K. But you can start with online communities that are $19 a month, $50 a month, 1,000 a year, right? And so on. And that's how you usually do progress. And even myself, I am in communities, mentorship programs, and so on, and just making sure that they fit at that time with what I need. That's why I'm running paid ads, because one of my mentors is actually into paid ads for his agency. So with all of that being said, that's pretty much it for today, and hope you took something away from it. As always, that's the goal. And until tomorrow, if I still see you around, which I hope I will, then wishing you the best, and you can watch some other videos if you haven't, from my series or from YouTube, I guess, if there's nothing else you want to do. So with all of that being said, and not to make this like a 50-minute video, which we could, by the way, let's end it here. And basically, until tomorrow, see you, all the best, and peace out.